Okay, let's talk about that pain. You know, the frustrating, nagging kind that just keeps coming back, no matter what you seem to throw at it. Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the surprising and honestly often overlooked source of this whole chronic cycle.
Does this sound familiar to you? You've got a sore neck, so you get a massage. And hey, the neck feels a bit better. But then, out of nowhere, your lower back starts acting up. So you focus on that, and suddenly your hip is the new problem. It literally feels like you're playing a never-ending game of whack-a-mole with your own body. And we all know these spots, right? That classic knot in your shoulders from being hunched over a desk, or the dull ache in your neck after a long drive. And that stubborn lower back pain that just refuses to leave. Yep, these are the usual suspects we're always trying to fix.
And that is the absolute core of the frustration, isn't it? The relief you get from most treatments just feels temporary. You're constantly putting on another patch, but you're not actually solving the deep down issue. The pain, it just always finds its way back. But what if we've been looking in all the wrong places this entire time? What if the real root of all this nagging pain isn't in your back or your neck or your shoulders, but somewhere completely unexpected?
I know, it sounds totally backwards, but the key to this whole puzzle is understanding this one thing. Where you feel the pain isn't necessarily where the problem starts. The real issue often begins much, much higher up in your body.
And here it is, the true foundation for your body's posture. Isn't your feet or your hips, it's your jaw. Now I know that sounds strange, but the way your teeth come together, your bite, can literally set off a chain reaction that affects everything, all the way down.
So, how on earth does that work? Well, think of it like a cascade, or a domino effect, that travels from the very top of your head all the way down your spine. A tiny little imbalance at the start can lead to some major issues down the line. Let's break this whole compensation chain down. It all starts with a jaw that's just a little bit misaligned. Now, to get your teeth to meet comfortably, your head will naturally tilt. But here's the thing, you don't walk around with a tilted head, right? Of course not. So your spine has to step in and compensate, twisting and curving just enough to keep your eyes level with the horizon. This constant, subtle adjustment is exactly what leads to chronic muscle strain and all that joint stress. And the results of all this constant compensation? Well, they're the very symptoms you've been trying so hard to treat. That recurring pain in your neck and back, that feeling of constant tightness in your shoulders, maybe even chronic headaches, and definitely unnecessary stress on your joints.
I think this metaphor just perfectly captures the whole problem. Getting a massage for your sore back is exactly like patching a crack in a wall. Sure, it might look a little better for a bit, but if the house's foundation is tilted, you know for a fact that crack is just going to reappear.
So if patching all the cracks isn't the real answer, what is? Well, the solution lies in actually correcting the foundation itself, not just masking the symptoms over and over again. And this really illustrates the two different paths you can take. On one side, you've got symptom management, things like massage or some types of physical therapy, which focuses on the sore spots and guess what? Offers temporary relief. On the other side, you've got foundational correction. This is all about addressing the root cause, in this case, the jaw and posture, to aim for a truly lasting result. So, how do you correct this foundation? It's actually a really precise, measurement-based process. First, an expert will carefully analyze your bite, your jaw position, your whole posture. Then, using all that data, they'll create a custom-designed oral appliance. It's called an orthotic. Now, this isn't just some generic mouthguard. It's a very specific tool that gently guides your jaw into a more stable, balanced position over time. And once the jaw is stable, well, that's when the magic really starts to happen. Your head no longer has to tilt, your spine doesn't have to twist and compensate, that entire chain of tension just begins to unwind, and your body's muscles can finally relax back into their natural, comfortable alignment.
Which brings us to the ultimate goal here, achieving real, lasting relief, not just slapping on more temporary patches. It's about finally ending that frustrating chase for the source of your pain.
So the crucial point is this. By stabilizing the foundation, you eliminate the underlying mechanical stress. You're not just soothing the sore muscles anymore. You are removing the very reason they became sore in the first place. And that is what breaks the cycle for good. It all just comes down to this. One single starting point, the jaw, that can dictate the posture and the comfort of your entire body. By addressing this one critical area, you can resolve a whole cascade of downstream issues.
So the next time you feel that familiar ache in your neck or your back, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Is that pain just another random sore spot? Or could it be a message from your body telling you to look at the foundation for a much, much deeper imbalance?